Hi, welcome back. Last week, Dow Jones Industrial Average just reached an all-time high after 3 doses of vaccine news. If we look at S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite Index, they are both at all-time high as well. The question that many has been asking is this: is it time to buy or sell or just hold? To answer these questions, we need to understand the market forces. Here, I'll try to use an analogy. The two greatest achievements of modern physics, quantum mechanics and Einstein's general theory of relativity. Both of these, is very powerful theories. However, they have a very big problem. They don't agree with each other. Quantum mechanics works perfectly at a very small scale, and general relativity theory works very great at a large scale. If we look at this, this is the scale of basically everything in the universe. On the left-hand side, you see things that are very small at microscopic level. On the right-hand side, you see mega-scale objects like galaxy, etc. If you want to know how atoms and electrons behave, you need to use quantum mechanics. If you want to know how galaxies behave, you need to use general theory of relativity. And these two is very hard to mix. Now let's talk about the market. Instead of length dimension, we are now looking at time dimension or time horizon. On a short time horizon, we are talking about less than a year or so. The factors that are driving the market are sentiment, are people feeling greedy or panic? Liquidity, what are the current fiscal and monetary policy? Trading, what are the big funds, big hedge funds are doing at the moment? Are they long the market or are they short the market? On a long time horizon, these are the things that move very slowly. Usually you don't see them in the news because it will be very boring to report things that don't really change over time. Let's talk about short term, because long-term stuff are actually quite boring. When there are a lot of uncertainties, market will price in the uncertainties and will be relatively cheap. Okay, now let's travel back to October, just 1 month ago. Coronavirus cases have been spiking up in US and Europe. We didn't know how long will it drag on. US elections, who is going to become the president? And we have the stimulus talk. Is there a stimulus coming? How big it is? And when are they coming? And lastly, US-China trade war. How will the US-China relationship develop under the new president? Now fast forward 1 month later, we have certainties. Okay, 3 vaccines news has been released in the past 3 weeks from Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. On the elections, Joe Biden will be the president, and Trump has accepted a formal US transition and Biden will begin to take office. On the US stimulus talk, Janet Yellen will be appointed as US Treasury Secretary. There's a broad expectation that she will make the stimulus package her top priority. And lastly, how would the US-China relationship evolve under Biden? I think this one is still remain uncertain. But consensus is that tension will still continue. And if you ask Trump now, I think this will be his answer. Market works like a pendulum. Sometimes it swings to the fear and panic, sometimes it swings to the FOMO and greedy. In my opinion, right now is more towards the FOMO and greedy mode, but not so crazy. This means that I won't be surprised to see market continue to rally for a while. But please don't quote me on this because I know that I'm very bad at short-term market timing. That's why I don't do that. Okay, now, there are only 2 questions that matters. Question number 1 is, how good are you at predicting the market? And you includes other people that you obtain information from, such as journalists, economists, investment gurus, and your friends. I'm not saying that all predictions are bad. For example, when COVID-19 started in China in January this year, the panic was only affect on the Asia. Europe and US are very chill about it even until February. Some people like Bill Ackman knew that it is going to be bad and he's able to profit from the trades he made. How sensitive are you at picking up these signs and able to take advantage? Remember your answer to this question because we'll need it for later. Second question is, how much are you going to allocate among equities and cash, assuming neutral, or if you just accept that you don't have any idea on the market direction? Okay, based on the 2 answers that you provided, That will actually help you to form your risk tolerance and also to help you understand your own bias. Are you inherently optimistic or pessimistic? For example, if your neutral risk allocation is at 60%, then how much you should deviate from that 60% depending on your conviction or your confidence on your market timing skill. If you are extremely confident on your skill, you can have a neutral weight of let's say 50% and then set a range between 0 to 100%. 1 month you can be fully invested, then next month move all to cash. If you don't have the confidence, you don't know how to time the market well, you shouldn't deviate far away from the neutral allocations. For example, I'm an optimistic guy. My equity allocation right now is close to 100%. I have no confidence at all at market timing, so my leeway is very close to 100%. I won't let the cash build out too much in my portfolio. I will just DCA and investing every month. That's all for today's video. I try to keep this as short as possible because I understand that your time is very valuable. See you in the next one.